lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Verdie. I am a licensed nail tech, small business owner, and content creator. So today's video will be me doing a file off of my nails, and I will link this video design in the cards above, as well as the description box. So my last video I did do a soak off, and so some of the techniques in that video are going to be shown in this video as well, such as clipping off the length of the nails. I clip on the sidewalls, which is the weakest point. I make sure I'm avoiding clipping any of my natural nail, which is easy because they're pretty short. But if they were longer, I would avoid cutting off that area with the clippers. Once I cut off the length, I am going to file off my nail extension or my nail enhancement. So on my nails, I do have regular tips that are put on with rubber base coat. And then I have acrylic and then a gel top coat. So sounds simple, right? You're just filing off your extensions. One of the things about filing off is you want to do this safely. If you want to remove all the product, you don't want to remove layers of your natural nail. I do change my nails quite often for the sake of content and also because I do get bored. In my last video, I was explaining why I don't like soak-offs. I actually don't do soak-offs too often. That soak-off video will be linked as well. I actually prefer filing off my extensions or enhancements. And the way that I keep my natural nails healthy, and the way that I avoid removing layers of my natural nail when I'm doing file off is before I even start a nail design, I do a thin layer either of acrylic or a clear acrylic, a thin layer of clear acrylic, or a thin layer of rubber base coat. And so when I am removing my nail extensions, I just remove the product and I stop once I get to that layer of base coat. I know I'm at the base coat when I'm removing because typically I'm using color acrylic or nude acrylic. So once I see that I'm starting to expose the actual color of my nail plate, that is when I turn down my E-file and use it at a lower level, and then eventually switch out to a sanding band versus this coarse drill bit that I am using. And you could see here, I am adjusting the speed because, okay, I'm starting to expose that rubber base coat. And it is pretty simple. The most important thing in this step for me is just not filing down to my natural nail. And then when I'm applying the rubber base coat or the clear acrylic, I do it in a way so it doesn't add too much bulk to the nail, but will allow me enough freedom to when I'm removing the extension to get all of the product off. And again, not file off my natural nail. So after I get off most of the product, I just clean up the shape a little bit. And if there's any more bulk, I just kind of get a little bit of it off with the hand file. So I'm going to show you the process on another nail, removing all of the bulk. And again, what I do is I just remove all of the product down to that clear level of either acrylic or base coat. And I know that sounds pretty boring, but it's really, really important when you're doing your nails or having your nail tech do your nails that you are protecting your natural nails. At the end of the day, you want to use these enhancements, but you don't want to have to rely on them. Unfortunately, when I started doing acrylics and things like that about 3 years ago, I started because my natural nails were really thin and they would always break. I was actually looking at some of my older videos and I allowed my natural nails to grow out. So in some of my newer videos, you can see my natural nails are really, really long. It's just that they were thin. And throughout my journey, I started doing this technique of the thin layer of acrylic or base coat because I began to create more videos and change my nail designs more. I no longer keep the length of my natural nails, and that's something that's fairly recent. I would just keep it to a certain length. Now I just cut them all the way down. But I think what I want to do for a few months is just use the rubber base coat or do structured gel manicures. I think that's what I want to do. And my next video is going to be on a structured gel manicure. But I think I just want to keep my natural nails. See how long I can get them, if I can get them as long as they were a few years ago when I first started doing videos. So we'll see. I do change my mind a lot, but essentially what you want to do is make sure however your products are applied, they can be removed safely without pulling off so many layers of your natural nail. And when you do soak off, you're scraping off, and unless you have a layer of protection between your natural nail and the product, you will be scraping off product or filing off product from your natural nail. Same with this. So just make sure that when you are getting your nails done, if you know you're going to be removing the enhancements, there's some layer of protection. And after I get most of the bulk off, I just go in with the fine sandy band and kind of like just smooth out the surface. If there's any product left, I get it off with the fine sanding band. And I believe the speed I usually use on my e-file is pretty low. I don't think I ever really go over 5 just because I just have that thin layer of protection and I don't want to file off to my natural nail. And that's pretty much it. So after I do that, use a fine sanding band, I just buff everything out, put on some cuticle oil, and then I'm done with the process. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I did kind of run through it pretty fast, and I only showed 2 nails on here. So let me know if you guys have any questions, if you need a little bit more in-depth explanation. I will leave the 2 brands of rubber base coat that I use all the time, which is Eden's Rose and Not Polished. Those are my 2 favorite ones because it's a thick rubber base coat, and both of them are pretty affordable. So those are my go-to brands. I know there are a lot of other brands out there. In the future, I will be trying different brands, but for right now, those are my 2 favorites. But if you are doing this to your nails, that thin layer of protection, let me know what products you use, things like that. I am willing to see what other products are out there and give them a try if it makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Short and sweet and to the point. Again, if there was anything I missed, definitely leave me a comment below and I will address it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate you spending your time with me. Make sure that you are subscribed to this channel if you like this content. And that's it. I will see everybody soon for another video.